Do you know it? Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History.
Now we going back. He done on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You You hear me, boy, I'm searching.
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 Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Your enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? History. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it?
Yo, we're back. Welcome back to another episode of Our Hidden History. You are now tuned into Our Hidden History radio show.
Yes, sir.
We are back. Another week.
Welcome
It's
back,
gone
Officer
by.
Aim, man.
Welcome back, Officer Aim.
Thank you,
Back.
thank you. I kind of like the intro, so you know.
We're back. We're still done with the Greek captivity. We are in the Greek captivity. But as you know, we're getting some back-to-back history, man. Bishop Kanai was dropping some jewels for us last week and this week regarding the empires, part 1 and part 2. So I'm learning from there, pretty much. And we're pretty much now in the Greek captivity. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to start off with 2 Maccabees, chapter 4. We're going to start from verse 39 and finish it up because someone said I finished it last week, even though I didn't.
Yo,
threw me off.
Cameraman, yo.
Thank you, cameraman, for that.
Turn the camera, bro.
2 Maccabees 4 and 39.
Yes, sir. 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 39.
So we left off, we're still dealing with Antiochus, we're still dealing with this dude being the devil the Bible speaks of. And we're going to get some more detail regarding the devils that pretty much were around this time. Black ones and heathen ones. All right, let's go.
Now when many sacrilege had been committed in the city by Lysimachus, with the consent of Menelaus, and the bruit thereof was spread abroad.
Right, so Lysimachus, I believe, is Menelaus' brother. All right, this is the guy he set in his place when he was gone. Go ahead. We read this one over this last week. Go ahead.
The multitude gathered themselves together against Lysimachus, many vessels of gold being already carried away.
Right. This guy was wilding out when Menelaus was gone. Go ahead.
Whereupon the common people rising, and being filled with rage, Lysimachus armed about 3,000 men, and began first to offer violence. And Aronus, being the leader, a man far gone in years, and no less in folly.
So it says, first to offer violence, one Aranus being the leader of his army, a man far gone in years, and no less in folly. Old man, but freaking evil. Go ahead.
They then, seeing the attempt of Lysimachus, some of them caught stones, some clubs, other taking handfuls of dust that was next at hand, cast them all together upon Lysimachus and those that sat upon them.
Mm-hmm.
Thus many of them they wounded, and some they struck to the ground, and all of them they forced to flee. But as for the church robber himself, him they killed beside the treasury.
Go ahead.
Of these matters, therefore, there was an accusation laid against Menelaus. Now when the king came to Tyrus, 3 men that were sent from the Senate pleaded the cause before him.
Yeah.
But Menelaus, being now convicted, promised Ptolemy, the son of Diomenes, to give him much money if he would pacify the king toward him.
Right, because remember, he offered the king money. He replaced Simon. This guy replaced Simon. He told the king, I'll give you more money to make me the leader or high priest rather than Simon. And so he asked this guy, listen, man, I'll pay you to make the king have mercy on me because I owe him money also. Go ahead.
Whereupon Ptolemy, taking the king aside into a certain gallery, as it were to take the air, brought him to be of another mind, and so much that he discharged Menelaus from the accusation.
Right. So he taught them out of killing Menelaus pretty much. Go ahead.
Who notwithstanding was cause of all the mischief, and those poor men who, if they had told their cause, yea, before the Scythians, should have been judged innocent, them he condemned to death.
Yeah.
Thus they that followed the matter for the city and for the people and for the holy vessels did soon suffer unjust punishment.
Right, go ahead.
Wherefore, even they of Tyrus, moved with hatred of that wicked deed, caused them to be honorably buried.
Wow, go ahead.
And so through the covetousness of them that were of power, Menelaus remained still in authority, increasing in malice and being a great traitor to the citizens.
Right, killing his own damn people. All for greed. This is a black man killing his own people. Terrible, man. The worst. So now, let's get chapter 5. We're going to be verse 1 to 8.
2 Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 1.
So Menelaus is causing all kinds of problems, man. This guy Menelaus is the worst, causing all kinds of issues. Go ahead.
About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air and clothed of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers.
He saw angels pretty much in the sky. Go ahead.
And troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields, and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of gold ornaments.
Oh, gosh.
Yo, let it go, man.
Let it go, man.
I didn't say anything, Dick.
Go ahead. You're throwing ninja stars.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead.
And casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments, and harness of all sorts.
Go ahead.
Wherefore every man prayed that the apparition might turn to good.
They hope that this sign that they saw in the sky was a sign of good regarding the battle. Go ahead.
Now when there was gone forth a false rumor, as though Antiochus had been dead.
So it was a rumor that went around that Antiochus died in some kind of, he was killed, or he died in some kind of battle. Go ahead.
Jason took at the least 1,000 men.
Jason took advantage of the situation that Antiochus is in his death. Go ahead. Thinking Antiochus is dead. Go ahead.
And suddenly made an assault upon the city.
Go ahead.
And they that were upon the walls being put back, and the city at length taken, Menelaus fled into the castle.
So Jason went after Menelaus. Menelaus paid to replace him. Jason came, he said, Antiochus is dead. Antiochus is dead. I'm going to kill Menelaus. Go ahead.
But Jason,
Menelaus fled. Go ahead.
But Jason slew his own citizens.
So trying to get Menelaus, Jason started killing his own people with his army. He had 1,000 men. He started killing his own people. Go ahead.
Without mercy.
Damn, go ahead.
Not considering that to get the day of them of his own nation would be a most unhappy day for him.
Go ahead.
But thinking they had been his enemies and not his countrymen whom he conquered.
Right, he didn't consider his own people to be his people. He was a coon. He was a sellout. He didn't consider his own people, Jews, to be his people. He thought he was a Greek.
What the hell is this?
Go ahead.
Howbeit, for all this, he obtained not the principality.
Howbeit, even after doing that, chasing Menelaus away and killing his own people, he did not obtain the power he had lost to Menelaus. Go ahead.
But at the last received shame for the reward of his treason.
Yeah, his own church is being a traitor against his people. Like some of you people we know that was amongst us. Go ahead.
And fled again into the country of the Ammonites.
And he ran to Ammon. Go ahead.
And the end thereof, he had an unhappy return.
In the end thereof, he had an unhappy return. Go ahead.
Being accused before Aretas, the king of the Arabians.
Right, Aretas is the king of the Arabians. All right, go ahead.
Fleeing from city to city, pursued of all men, hated as a forsaker of the laws.
Now this Aretas here, this Aretas right here, of the Arabians is Aretas the first. Give me 2 Corinthians 11 verse 32. 2 Corinthians 11:32. So this guy Aretas chased him. He was the king of the Arabians. King Aretas the first.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 32. In Damascus, the governor under Aretas.
Under who?
Aretas.
This is Aretas the fourth. This is his grandson. Aretas the fourth. Go ahead.
The king kept the city of the Damascus with a garrison, desirous to apprehend me.
Trying to kill Paul. So Aretas the fourth in the Acts tried to kill Paul. So this Aretas in Acts is the great grandson of Aretas the first in Maccabees. All right, Aretas of the Arabians. Let's go back.
2 Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 8. In the end, therefore, he had an unhappy return, being accused before Aretas, the king of the Arabians, fleeing from city to city, pursued of all men, hated as a forsaker of the law.
Right, this is the guy that made us all become Greeks, wear hats, going to the Olympics. This guy caused a lot of mischief. This guy caused a forced assimilation or a deceptive assimilation of our people into Greek captivity. Go ahead.
And being had an abomination as an open enemy of his countrymen, of his country and countrymen, he was cast out into Egypt.
Go ahead. He was exiled. Go ahead.
Thus he that had driven many out of their country perished in the strange land, retiring to the Lacedaemonians.
Yeah, so he ran to the Spartans. He ran over there to them. Go ahead.
And thinking there to find secure by reason of his kindred.
He was hoping he'd find comfort over there because the Spartans were his people. He said, I'm going to hide among my own people over here. Go ahead.
And he that had cast out
wait.
That was verse 9, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
And he that had...
I'm sorry, verse 9 proves again that the Lacedaemonians were our people. The Lacedaemonians, who are the Spartans, were our people. Go ahead.
And he that had cast out many unburied had none to mourn for him, nor any solemn funerals at all, nor sepulchre with his fathers.
Good. He died in a foreign land, and no one buried his simple ass. Go ahead.
Now when this that was done came to the king's ear, he thought that Judea had revolted.
So when word came to the king Antiochus' ear that Jason had done this, that he had caused a war, he started killing people and so forth. Remember, Jason thought that Antiochus was dead. So when Antiochus returned to find what Jason had done, what he had killed our people, chased Menelaus out, whatever, and caused a revolt, he took that as an offense or as treason, disrespect. So this guy Jason, this stupid Negro Jason, pretty much provoked or further incited Antiochus to go against us in this instance right here. This history ties into what started 1 Maccabees 1. When the temple was defiled, this guy Jason is the catalyst. He's the forerunner of this whole thing. He started it.
Damn.
So a Negro was behind this dude Antiochus being further provoked, of course, it's of the Lord, but being further provoked to pretty much defile our temple and force us into Greek fashion. Read again.
Now when this that was done came to the king's ear,
What was done was what Jason had done. Go ahead.
he thought that Judea had revolted.
He thought we, the whole nation of Jews, revolted against him like Jason did, thinking he was dead. Go ahead.
Whereupon, removing out of Egypt
He left Egypt. Go ahead.
in a furious mind,
Pissed off.
he took the city by force of arms.
See? Go ahead.
And commanded his men of war not to spare such as they met, and to slay such as went up upon the houses.
Kill all of us. Go ahead.
Thus there was killing of young and old, making away of men, women, and children, slaying of virgins and
He
infants.
started killing us, massacring us. Go ahead.
And there were destroyed within the space of 3 whole days 80,000.
He killed within 3 days 80,000 of us. 80,000.
Damn.
Men, women, children, virgins, infants.
The hell is
Go ahead.
this?
Whereof 40,000 were slain in the conflict, and no fewer sold than slain.
And no fewer sold than slain. I mean, he sold as many as he killed. Those who weren't killed, massacred, were sold as slaves. Go ahead.
Yet he was not content with this,
Watch this.
but presumed to go into the most holy temple of all the world.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Menelaus, that traitor to the laws, and to his own country, being his God.
Menelaus came back when Jason was gone, and he led this dude, Antiochus, into the temple. Go ahead.
And taking the holy vessels with polluted hands, and with profane hands, pulling down the things that were dedicated by other kings to the augmentation, and glory and honor of the place, he gave them away.
The things that Solomon added to the temple, the things that Josiah added to the temple, this guy Antiochus took it down with his nasty, filthy hands. And go ahead.
And so haughty was Antiochus in mind, that he considered not that the Lord was angry for a while for the sins of them that dwelt in the city, and therefore his eye was not upon the place.
So Antiochus didn't understand the reason why he was allowed to even step foot in that temple at all is because God was mad at us for all the sin that was going on in the land at that time, because Israel was succumbing to the Greek fashions. So the Lord didn't care. Remember, Eleazar had got his ass beat by angels for setting foot in there. But this time, Antiochus was untouched because the Lord was mad at us. So we were what? Unshielded. There was no armor, no protection, no hedge now. Because if we were doing right by the Lord, watch, read on. I'm just going to say it.
Verse 18, for had they not been formerly wrapped in many sins, this man, as soon as he had come, had forthwith been scourged and put back from his presumption, as Heliodorus was.
See? If God wasn't mad at us, he would have got an ass whipping just like Heliodorus would have got. If Israel was on their right, but Israel was not wrapped in their sins. Go ahead.
Whom Seleucus the king sent to view the treasury.
Right, whom Seleucus the king sent, which is his brother. Go ahead. Antiochus his brother. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, God did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake.
That's heavy right there. That's a heavy verse. Read that verse again.
Nevertheless, God did not choose the people for the place's sake.
God did not choose the people for the place's sake. Go ahead.
But the place for the people's
But
sake.
he chose the land for our sake. That's heavy. We're connected. Go ahead.
And therefore, the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation did afterward communicate in the benefits sent from the Lord. And as it was forsaken in the wrath of the Almighty, so again, the great Lord being reconciled, it was set up with all glory.
Read again, 20 again.
And therefore, the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation.
So before, the land of Israel and Israel, the nation itself, we're connected. You cannot have one without the other. And when one is gone from the other, one's affected from the other. You can't have one. You cannot. That's why you hear Jake say things like, "Oh, go back to Israel, come visit Israel." It's not Israel right now. It's Canaan right now, because the whole nation's not there. Having a few people of our people over there, it's not enough. So the land is desolate. It's a freaking wasteland. It's not. First off, if you really examine Scripture, the land of Israel is really pretty much Northeast Africa extending all the way into Iran. So that's like a portion of land, really. But the bottom line is that the land and the people are one. They're connected. So whenever Israel goes through adversity, the land goes through adversity. Read it again.
And therefore, the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation did afterward communicate in the benefits sent from the Lord. And as it was forsaken in the wrath of the Almighty, so again, the great Lord being reconciled, it was set up with all glory.
Right. Go ahead. So we went through adversity with us, and when the Most High repented, and we repented and so forth, the Lord it extended its benefits to us. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, Deke. Verse 20 was depicted in Avatar.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking in my head, and I didn't. Right.
Yeah,
right.
because remember the tree. They were able to connect to the tree, and everything started glowing.
Right, and the animals.
And the animals also.
Right. The movie Avatar with the blue people. Yes, definitely. There's definitely a connection with the land. Even on this side of the world, and the so-called Native Americans, our brothers, had a connection to this land as well. Same thing. Go ahead, because the Most High promised this land to us too, until it was, but temporarily, of course. Go ahead. 21. Oh, whoa.
Hey, shalom, Deke.
Disciplinary.
Shalom, Cat.
Hey, you thought hiring's gonna be for you? It's been a sad day in Israel.
Oh man. Oh.
Listen,
hey, Deke,
you know what?
Captain Joel appeared out of nowhere and appeared with insults.
Yeah, I was just about to ask for one verse today. All I needed is one verse.
Hey, talking about trees.
So, one verse.
You know, Gad can relate to that, but in Haiti, they really can't relate to that.
Oh my gosh. So you just got here. You already insulted Haiti.
Hey, let's switch, man.
Hey, man.
Oh my God.
Yo.
Applause, please. Let's go. Captain's back.
Captain's back. With more insults than before. We are in verse 21. Captain's coming with a vengeance.
It's renewed in the spirit of.
We are in 2 Maccabees 4 and verse 5:21.
I can read it.
Sorry about that, Israel.
So we finished 2 Maccabees 4. Thank you, Hezekiah. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your help. We finished 2 Maccabees 4. Now we're just joking. And we're in 2 Maccabees 5, verse 21.
All right. 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 21. So when Antiochus had carried out of the temple 1,800 talents.
Damn, he robbed the temple. Remember that was money in there too. Go ahead.
He departed in all haste unto Antiochia, reigning in his pride to make the land navigable. Sorry, spirit of Abaddon. And the sea passable by foot.
Right. So this guy was so arrogant. He, in his mind, the author is saying this guy thought he can make the land navigable. I mean, he could sail on the land with boats. Go ahead.
And the sea passable by foot.
And he can walk on water. That's how arrogant he was. So this guy was so arrogant, he believed he can sail on land and walk on water. Go ahead.
Such was the haughtiness of his mind.
Such was maybe he named himself Epiphanes. God manifest on earth. So the author is saying this guy thought he can navigate land by boat and navigate the sea by foot. That's how arrogant he was to go in that temple and take things out. Remember, this guy walked into God's temple and robbed it. He burglarized the Lord's temple. That's some arrogance right there. Keep going.
And he left governors to vex the nation.
And he left behind him governors to vex us while he was gone, in his absence. Watch this.
At Jerusalem.
And so at Jerusalem, he left behind who?
Philip.
Keep that nigga. Keep this dude in mind. Philip.
For his country, a Phrygian. And for manners more barbarous than he that set him there.
And this guy was more barbaric than Antiochus, who put him in charge. Philip was the worst. Keep his name in mind. Philip. Go ahead.
And at Garizim. Andronicus.
And he left Andronicus. Keep that name in mind. At Garizim, Northern Kingdom's former capital. Go ahead.
And besides, Menelaus.
So, and beside Andronicus, he set up Menelaus, the same dude from before that replaced Jason. Go ahead.
Who worse than all the rest bear an heavy hand over the citizens.
Menelaus was the worst, and he was our people. And he bare a heavy hand over his own people. Go ahead.
Having a malicious mind against his countrymen, the Jews.
Because this dude hated his people.
The hell is this?
He was a Jew and despised his own people, Menelaus. Go ahead.
He sent also the detestable ringleader, Apollonius.
Keep this guy in mind. And the Menelaus went and got some other dude named Apollonius. Go ahead.
with an army of 22,000.
And he went and got a ringleader of his army of 22,000 named Apollonius. Go ahead.
Commanded him to slay all those that were in their best age.
Why? This dude went and had his men kill our people in their best age. Go ahead.
And to sell the women and the younger sort.
And to have his own sisters sold as slaves. Killed the strong men so they can't fight back and had women sold in slavery. This dude Menelaus was the worst. And this is a black man. Showing you that Negroes ain't SH. They're the worst. They are the worst. Where verse is that?
That was verse 24.
We're gonna finish it. We're gonna finish the verse. Finish your chapter. Go ahead. Finish it up.
Who come into Jerusalem and pretend to peace.
He told this dude Menelaus came to Jerusalem, pretending to come at peacefully. Go ahead.
They forbid till the holy day of the Sabbath.
He waited until it was the Sabbath. This is Menelaus. He's worse than Jason. Go ahead.
When taking the Jews keeping holy day, he commanded his men to arm themselves.
He knew he wasn't going to fight back on the Sabbath. He knew this. This guy's the worst. Go ahead.
And so he slew all them that were gone to the celebrating for the Sabbath.
He killed us during the feast day. Go ahead.
And running through the city with weapons slew great multitudes.
Watch 27.
But Judas Maccabees with 9 others, or thereabout, withdrew himself into the wilderness and lived in the mountains after the manner of beasts, with his company who fed on herbs continually, lest they should be partakers of the pollution.
So when this was going on, remember, Mattathias and them had fled. They were living in the woods. And so those who chose to stay behind and did not leave at Mattathias, but chose to stay around, they underwent murders and slavery and atrocities under their own countryman, Menelaus, while the Maccabean family was hiding in the woods, gathering themselves together for their revolt. All right? Now get chapter 6, verse 1. We're going to read to verse 9.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of God.
So the king here is referring to Antiochus. Go ahead.
And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympus.
Jupiter Olympius is Mars, the god Mars. Go ahead.
And that in the garrison of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Mars goes back to Zeus, same god. Go ahead.
As they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
Right.
For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles.
So the Greeks turned the temple into a club of riot and reveling, a club full of hoes, all that stuff.
Sounds like the Christian church to me.
The Christian church, yeah, pretty much. Go ahead. To a whorehouse. Go ahead.
Who dally with harlots.
They dally with the harlots in the temple. Go ahead.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful.
Go ahead.
The altar also was filled with profane things, which the Lord forbiddeth.
Go ahead.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days, or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So Antiochus passed that law that it was not lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. And this, brothers and sisters, is how Israelites became Greeks, or Grecians, or Gentiles. This, brothers and sisters, is what is known historically as the intertestamental period. So when you read the New Testament and you read about the Greeks that Paul was dealing with, and you read about the Gentiles that Paul was talking about, or the heathen, or the uncircumcision that Paul was talking about, he was talking about Israelites that were raised under these conditions and eventually, through generations, maintained those forced conditions. That's what happened. We were forced to no longer profess to be Jews, and over generations of time, we became Jasons, we became Menelauses. By nature, we believed ourselves to be Greeks entirely by the time of Paul. Not all of us, but most of us. And Paul had to go and teach them that, no, you must return back to the laws of your fathers in the faith of Christ when he was converted himself in that faith. But that's who the Gentiles or Greeks or Grecians were in the New Testament. You have to read the book of Maccabees. You have to know it. It bridges the gap between the old and new. That's why it's referred to as the intertestamental period, meaning it's in between the testaments, old and new. It puts it in context. Okay?
Oh, no.
Oh, it puts it in context. Verse 7. You got something to say? You want to say?
No, I was repeating what you were saying.
Oh, verse 7.
And the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices.
So the Greeks, they celebrated their birthday every month. So if his birthday was the 8th of every month, it was his birthday, and they made us celebrate it along with him by offering up sacrifices because we did not celebrate birthdays. That was a pagan practice. We didn't celebrate that. Do y'all understand how stupid a birthday is? I'm going to tell you how stupid a birthday is. Let me give you an example. Since we're on the topic. When you examine a birthday, right, you're celebrating what? That you were born, right? That's what you're basically celebrating. You're celebrating you, which makes you your own God in a way. But let's move that over for a moment. You know how many people you have walking in this world that are worth nothing? They're just here. They should have ended up in a sock somewhere or on somebody's back. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Oh, a hot sauce and a condom?
Right. They should end up with some hot sauce. They should have. On the turkey base somewhere. Not in someone's womb, ever. They walk around, they're a waste of time, waste of space, waste of air, doing nothing with their time in this world.
Born in vain.
Selling drugs, killing their people, unrepenting. Now I'm not talking about brothers who are going to repent in time. I'm talking about the niggas who's going to die niggas. Waste of time.
Like Jason.
Like Jason was. Menelaus, this is waste of balls. Waste of time. And you celebrating their birth. When you examine the scriptures, our forefathers didn't honor birth. You know what they honored? Death. Mm-hmm. You know why they honored death? Because what you left behind was where your honor was found. Your children, your legacy, your inheritance, your children being brought up the right way. That is your honor. That's your legacy. That's what you celebrate. That's celebrated. Your sons raising up, having wives, raising up their children honorably the way you raised them. Your daughters getting married to husbands who are like you, and they raising sons like you, who are honorable and have wives, and creating a legacy. That's what life is about. Leaving what you leave behind. When your life ends, that is the celebration. Not when you're born. You're gonna be a waste of balls and sperm. Waste of egg when you're on this earth. Some of y'all niggas out here walking around the earth ain't shit.
Speak your truth.
You ain't worth. You shouldn't even be alive.
Let it go.
Bring it out.
Speak your truth.
Stepping down. I see niggas walking around saying, why you alive? Why you here? Some niggas walking around like, why tattoos all on their eyes and nose and eye and their eye. Like, why you here?
Come
Bring
with
it
it
out. Come
with
on.
it.
Why you here?
Come on, Deacon. Bring it out.
Stuff like that. Now, don't get it twisted. I mean, my opinion is that when they get tattoos all over their face, they're too far gone. You can't reach that. I mean, they're just gone. Most of it, from my experience, brothers who got tattoos all over their face, they're usually too far gone. It's like they're filled. It's like the demons. It's like the devil poured demons in them, and he filled to the brim. They just filled to the brim. You can't. It's overflowing with. They're gone. But some people walking on this earth, they're selling drugs, they're abusive, they're child molesting, still child molesting, child trafficking, drug dealers. Now, but again, I'm not talking about those who can repent. I'm referring to those who are so far gone in it, they're gonna die in it. I'm referring to them. The ones who are just sealed in that. They're sealed in that life. I'm referring to them, not the ones, because brothers in the congregation, brothers amongst us, they was in that life. They came from that life where they were surrounded by that or they was involved in it. I'm not talking about you. Those of y'all who repented from that lifestyle, all praise be the Lord, all praise for that. The Most High loves you enough to pull you out of that. But you got some brothers who are walking around, and sisters walking around, who God is never going to pull out of that. They're going to die in it. I'm referring to them. They celebrate their birth for no reason. They're nothing. Their life means nothing. Their existence means nothing. Give me that scripture for Ezra, born in vain. I'm going to show it to you. It's biblical. You're being like, those are your people. They are my people, but they're a waste of sperm.
No purpose.
They're purposeless. They just
You're 40 and you're about to die.
Right, Captain Zakar. They're pretty much just they're worthless. Was it Ezra 9:21?
22, sir.
Yeah, read that, please.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
Let the what?
Let the multitude perish then.
Multitude means a lot of us are not going to make it. 2/3 of us are born in vain. 2/3 of us are born to make the third's life difficult. That's their purpose. To scoff, scorn, deride us, hate us, turn against us, bring us into the authorities. That's their purpose. To be traitors. To do what? To do what Jason did. To do what Menelaus did. That's their purpose. To do what Simon did. That's their purpose. Read it again.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
Which were what?
Which were born in vain.
Which were born for no reason. Their birth is vanity. Something that's vain means it has no value. It's valueless. It's no value to it. What's the word? Invaluable? Invaluable. You just no purpose. You got people, a multitude of our people, 2/3 to be exact, were born for the purpose of being campfire. Nuclear campfire is their purpose. So I'm not speaking hate here. It's facts. Some niggas ain't worth a damn. I'm just going to be flat out with it. Go back. That's why I don't spend my time cursing out white folks. White folks aren't a problem to me. You niggas are a problem to me. Y'all be the ones on there in the comment board making comments. Don't know the Bible. Don't know your history. Making comments. That's you. I'm talking about you. If you don't repent, I'm referring to you. Where we at?
2nd Maccabees chapter 6, verse 7. Verse 9 now. I'll read 7 again.
Yeah.
In the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint.
They were brought by bitter constraint by force. Go ahead.
To eat of the sacrifices.
To eat of the sacrifices, which would be today your birthday cake. Your birthday feast today. Go ahead.
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy.
They were forced to they were forced to worship Bacchus. Today in the islands, you call it Bacchanal Carnival. You celebrate it deliberately now because you became Greeks by nature now. Back then, you were forced by bitter constraint to do it. Now you do it for fun. Today in the carnival. In Colombia, Brazil, Jamaica, you celebrate Bacchanal or Bacchus willfully now.
Haiti, too.
And Haiti also.
And Deacon, a lot of these pagan customs or our birthdays, your Christmas, your Thanksgiving, your Mother's Day, all these pagan holidays have almost like it's a release of constraint from the God's laws because they allow us to indulge in our lusts. Birthdays, what do? You go to the club, you get drunk, you have sex with multiple women. But when it comes to God's Passover, it constrains you. You understand that this is a godly day. It has a spiritual connotation behind it. So I'm not going to indulge in those lustful or sexual appetites that I have. Or you have New Year's Day. Pagan customs also has, like I said, a lustful appetite behind that. You have your Valentine's Day. All of these days releases us from God's laws in order for us to indulge in our sexual appetites.
Right. And even in Passover has even physical attributes, physical benefits, like you can't eat bread. You can't have leaven for a whole week. That's
Discipline.
healthy. That's health.
And discipline.
That's health. Whereas the cake, you eating the damn cake, that's leaven central. Leaven is fattening, it's sweet. It ain't really good for you like that. You understand? So even with the Lord's feast days, there's certain health benefits even behind keeping those. Day of Atonement, you fast the whole day. That's a cleansing. The Sabbath day, you can't eat any hot food. You can only eat select food in the Sabbath. There's health benefits behind our feast days. There's purpose behind our. There's no health benefits behind New Year's or Thanksgiving. That's the worst kind of food you can eat on Thanksgiving. The worst food. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews that they should observe the same fashion and be partakers of their sacrifices.
The Ptolemy here suggestions referring to Antiochus, his right-hand man, Ptolemy Macron. That was Antiochus' right-hand man, his little general. And so Ptolemy said, hey, I have an idea. Why don't you do so-and-so to bother the Jews? Ptolemy Macron is referring to him. Ptolemy Macron. That's what it's referring to. So it says by the suggestion of Ptolemy It's referring to that guy. Go ahead.
Against the Jews, that they shall observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles.
Who should not what?
Conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles.
Give me a definition of manners, please. So it says, and observe the same fashions and be the partakers of their sacrifices. Who? The Greeks. And it says here, and who would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles. What does manners mean? Definition. Blow that up some. Manners. Let's see.
Manner. A way in which a thing is done or happens, taking notes in an unobtrusive manner.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2, a person's outward bearing or way of behaving towards others.
A person's outward what?
Bearings.
Or
way of behaving toward others.
Or way of behaving toward a person's outward bearing or way of behaving towards others, meaning their personality. There more?
Let's get some synonyms.
Yeah.
Demeanor, air, aspect, attitude, appearance.
There you go. This is manners. This is their appearance, attitude. Go ahead.
Look.
How they look. The beards be shaved off. They change how they dress. Go ahead.
Bearing, cast, deportment, behavior. Conduct.
Conduct. Go ahead.
Comportment. Mean. That's it.
So these are how the manners.
Dick, look at the first one.
What's the first one say?
The way, fashion, method, and system.
There you go. Their way, method, their fashion, and their system.
And the style.
And their style. It's a style.
Yep.
That's manners.
You dress like them. Talk like
Well,
them.
technically, the Levites didn't really dress like them because you guys went to the Olympics, to the temple, and started dressing butt naked.
All right. Well, you know
What
what?
a place to
You know what?
Is that not historical?
You know what?
Yeah.
I ain't got time.
Is that not historical?
Y'all
Jazz?
definitely started
So
that
what
thing.
happened today,
Y'all
Cat?
definitely popped that off.
So what
man.
happened today?
Jazz, you
What do
was
you mean
quiet
today?
the whole
Yeah,
time,
y'all took it
bro.
over
Nah,
today.
bro, whatever.
Wait,
bro.
what are you talking? We're not talking about today. We're talking about yesterday.
Yeah, that was about today.
It's called our hit of history, not our present day.
Hey, Deacon. Deacon, I want to go back. To the Negroes being born in vain.
Okay.
Here in Philly, they had a community
Speak your
cleanup.
truth.
I'm coming out. I'm coming out.
Speak your truth. Don't hold back, man.
Captain Joe's the worst influence in the show. Come on, Captain Bad Influence. He's the worst.
This tease.
It's ginger's great.
God.
Love it. It's greatness.
Thing kicking COVID
let's-
all out my system.
Yep. They got
Lord.
the ginger plant all inside the damn tea.
I just sunk my teeth right into the damn plant.
Any COVID if that's possible in your body is gone at this point.
Gosh.
Hey, pull that up real quick.
Vid. Sorry.
Oh, you put up the picture that I just sent?
Oh, let's get that too. Let's put,
Yeah, I was
let's put
dropping
all
my
that together.
Filthy Philly.
Filthy Philly.
That's how I got to come here in increment. I can't come here every single week anymore. It does something to my spirit, my soul. It's
second.
very depressing. That's why I'm angry all the time when I come out here. In Jersey, I'm not the same.
Thank you.
Speak your truth,
Wow.
Cap. Let it out.
You know,
Let it out, son.
coming from the mountains of the Caucasus.
Mountains of Pierre.
Hey, pull. All right, you got it up. All right, so this happened in Philly, North Philly. So it says less than 48 hours after 100 people cleaned up a North Philly corner, trash was dumped there again.
God.
The hell is this?
We need action.
We need the nuclear.
Yeah, that's the only action. You
That's it.
need fire.
Right. That's it.
Yo, even the Edomites try to go into our community and say, you know what? Since these niggas can't take care of themselves, let's take care of them for them.
Oh, that was Esau.
That's Esau that came in to clean our community. Because what? If you go to South Philly, or what is it? Yeah, South Philly, you look at the streets, they don't have trash on the streets. It's not dirty like this.
South Philly's nice.
It's completely, Philly proof. Nigga proof, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the bottom. Right? Read the bottom part.
A group of residents came out to clean up a North Philly dump site on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Wow. That's Monday. Was that last
Supposed to be
Monday?
on that
Last
day.
Monday.
That was this Monday. Past Monday.
Yeah.
Right. Esau tried to show some compassion on that day and come out and help.
Nah, but another thing too, people like those group of people, those are the people that Esau don't really want in that neighborhood. the people that got the mindset to change, to clean it up, they don't want these kind of people there. You know what I'm saying? So now what happens if they keep the place filthy and trashy and dirty, that's the state of mind
The people are
the
gonna
people
be
have over there. So now don't think the people are not just dirty, they're messed up in a mind, but it's a system that's conditioned to be like that. You can't just blame it on people like that when there's when you say this around most people, they be like, well, everybody can change. But if you're conditioned or you subject to that, you can't change. You don't have the Bible. You don't have the words of God to change.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, also
So-
I heard they redline pretty much where the trash pickup comes.
See what I'm saying?
So the trash pickup don't even come to the hoods.
Right.
Certain
And-
areas they don't.
Certain areas they don't come out.
And you got some bum contractors, when they get a job
Yep.
to go clean up garbage, they don't have no
clean up a
dumping
house.
license.
Yeah.
They don't know what place to go to dump. They take the money from trash and just dump it in the neighborhood. That's what's happening.
And by doing so, too, is bringing down the property value.
Right.
And the other nation who just came in, buy it real cheap, fix it up, and kick
And
them
clean
niggas
up the
out.
community.
Hey, get the next picture that Cat posted, and then we shut
Hey,
that down.
and also, like I said, Meek Mill. Not sure if everybody's seen Meek Mill's recent album. When he have a bunch of, he calls it abstract art.
Bunch of vaginas, women bent
Yep.
over.
Yep, a bunch of women
And the
bending
white
over.
dude was cursing niggas out, saying, "Why you got this? This is your rapper." Mm-hmm. So you want to be betrayed this way?
But they had, like I said, it was Judge Joe Brown, along with another sister, had a podcast discussing the images.
Yeah, I knew that.
And he was saying that, oh, this is abstract. The woman, you know how the black woman always like to defend wickedness.
Right.
But they were saying that, this is abstract art. This is art. This is beauty. This is what he sees. But Judge Joe Brown's trying to say, listen, any man that portrays his woman in a negative image, a negative light, is not a real man and doesn't respect his women.
Right.
And she was trying to convince Judge Joe Brown that this is just artistry. But in reality, Meek Mills is seeing what he sees within his mind and his community. It's reflected in his community. So what he sees in his mind is painted on an image. Captain Isaac always references saying, art imitates life and life imitates art.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So his album was a reflection of his environment. And not only his environment, and it's displayed in his music. Because all the words that's coming out of his lyrics is over-sexualization, the promiscuity of our women, the over-sexualization of our women, drugs, dope. Because that's not art, your woman walking around with blonde hair, spreading over, or popping it, spreading the cheeks. That's not art. That's not abstract art. That's the filth that's being portrayed within our community and the sexual deviancy that women are partaking in. So just to go with the trash. As a man thinketh, so is he.
Yep.
If you have a low state mind, if you think that you're nothing, then your community is going to reflect what's in your mindset.
And Cap, you know the funny thing, right? Sometimes, like, if I clean my basement, I got garbage. There's the sanitation has a free spot. You go right, you drive there, and you just dump your garbage right in there for free. They don't have to pick it up. You just put it in your car, you drive there, and you dump it for nothing. That's what they have to do.
But this is filthy Philly right here.
Hey, talking about filthy Philly, Officer Haim as well as Officer Lacroix has a lot to say, a lot of interesting points that they brought out based upon experiences.
Yeah, in Haiti, yes, Cap.
I didn't say it.
No, we live in. Listen, Cap, there's a difference, right?
Hey, Haiti's
Hold on,
beautiful.
Wait, Cap, there's a difference.
Well, white people live in
On the
Haiti. It's
third
beautiful.
world, listen what I'm saying. Third world country, right? Listen,
Hey, wait one second. You know I went to Haiti? I went to the beach in Haiti. No lie. We stayed in the white section of the beach,
my
but
gosh.
we went to the black section of the beach to get good food because white people don't have good seasoning.
How he is-
So we went to Levi, so we got food over there.
eating,
And the beaches, I love you,
insulting.
man. But the beaches where Esau was is crystal clear, clean. We went to the Haitian side. Am I lying? Am I lying, though?
No, you're not.
Let me speak my truth then.
No, you're not. Speak your truth.
So we went to the Haitian side. It was filth all over the place. Why did I go here?
I don't know. Because
Just-
you love us.
I'm sorry.
It's
you
in
love
your
us,
nature to just,
I apologize. Go ahead, Officer Lacroix. Sorry, Deacon. I apologize for that.
Now,
sir.
what I was saying, right, is there's like in the third world countries, right? They don't have no recycling plant, right? A majority of the stuff that's being sold in this country is plastic, is imported. So once the people use it, they just dump it because they don't know how to recycle.
Right.
So there's a difference between Haiti and Philly. Philly has many recycling places, and they got free
It's by design.
places where they could just drop their garbage.
I understand.
It's a big difference.
I recognize the systemic devices set up for our people. I understand that. I'm not overlooking that. What I'm speaking on, and again, Meek Mill, that man is like a god here. Like that, you can't speak bad about that man at all, especially in Philly. He's idolized here. He's like a Bob Marley of Philly, pretty much. You badmouth Bob Marley, you get punched in your face in Jamaica. Right. You badmouth Meek Mill, you get punched in your face here. Even Beanie Siegel, same thing. But the fact of the matter is that these men, I guarantee you, if you examine Meek Mill's life, there's no father there. There's no father whatsoever. I guarantee you. I don't even have to look at research it. I'll know. I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, this man was raised in a fatherless household. And a lot. And we were talking about it earlier today. We were discussing the movies called Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. And I did a brief commentary during class. I think Walk of the Giants I did about how. Excuse me, this ginger is at my throat.
Burning in
my
chest.
throat, burning inside. But it's good. It's good for you. Anyway, it's a good burning. Anyway, it's like a disinfectant in my throat. It's crazy. It's like natural bleach. Anyway, you had the main character Bruce Willis is David Dunn. You had Elijah, and you had Crumb, and David, of course, represents Israel, coming into his potential of who he is. Elijah, of course, is Elijah, who's responsible for the awakening of the 12. And Crumb is the nigger, the Negro. And you examine Split, Crumb was a variety of different personalities. I think he was 24 personalities, right? I think it was 24, which is 12 and 12. Okay? 12 and 12. So the main 2 personalities that were leading Crumb was the beast. Okay, the beast was a woman and a child. The leading personality in Crumb. And you examine the mindset of our people in the world today, black men are very effeminate because they're not raised no father in the house, and they're very childish. That artwork, that artistry of Meek Mill is childish. Because black women, he knows his sisters don't look like that. I know what he sees, but he knows he ain't stupid. He's around my age. He up there in age enough to know that sisters do not have to be portrayed that way. But because he sees certain select sisters portrayed in that image who choose to be, he decides to put that on his album cover. So I don't excuse niggerdom. I'm gonna tell you straight up and down. I don't excuse it. I'm not going to excuse it because that's what Negroes want you to do. I'm not going to do it. Yes, they are exposed to certain things that Esau sets up to make us, the way we are. I understand that. But even when I was in the world and I was exposed to certain things, I knew right from wrong. I had an idea. Yeah, that's not right. But I like it, but it's not right. I knew. These guys know. They don't give a shit. That's what it is. They don't care. They're making their money. They rocking their jewelry. They got their hoes. And then they leave the hood. They don't stay. He comes back here. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that dude. He comes back here. Some of them come back here because, of course, when you're the hood, you can leave the hood, but the hood don't leave you. So they'll come back to it and get killed. Like a lot of rappers who come back and get killed. But the mentality is not is justified, but justified to an extent. You understand? But like I said before, that doesn't go back to my point about a lot of our brothers and sisters out here walking around. A lot of them are born in vain. A lot of them are born in vain, and a lot of them are bringing forth more vain children for us to deal with. A lot of them. Because only a third of us are going to make it out of here. A third and 144,000 are going to make it out of this place. The rest of us are going to burn. That's a lot of Jake. That's billions of us are going to die here. All right? So where we at?
And Deacon, if I may say one more thing.
Sure.
If Jez, can I pull scripture? Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. That's why it's imperative that, like I said, we try to push this truth as much as possible throughout the social medias to be able to refrain or retrain our people's way of thinking. Because it's like I said, when you look at the evolution of our communities, the black community wasn't a condition that it's in right now in terms of our sister walking around with tight-ass jeans, with spandex going, with pretty much see-through dresses, even with the blonde hair. You see, in the 60s, leading up all the way to today, there's a natural decline. When there's a spiritual decline, there's a mental decline, and you start to see the decline reflected in your community. Right. So give me Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. Read.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
This whole walk has to do with our mind. Esau put subliminals out there. They feed us with filth. They put us in a filthy neighborhood, like Officer Haim as well as Officer Laquat was making reference to. They don't give certain people contracts, or they redline some of the trash collectors in certain communities to keep us in that filth so that we feel like that. And then when we feel like that, we start to act like our environment, and we start to treat the people the way we feel inside. That's why women will say niggas ain't shit, because inside they feel like they ain't shit. They feel like they don't have shit. Excuse my language.
Right.
But that's the natural feeling, internal feeling within our mind, subconscious. And it's displayed out in the open. So that's why the Bible says, read that again.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
We have to renew ourselves in the spirit of our mind. We cannot portray and paint images of our women reflecting what society wants our women to look like. They want our women to be bees and hoes. They want our women to be dots or twerk queens or Instagram models or Instagram hoes. They want our women not to be mothers, not to be wives. They want to see the decline and the destruction of the black community. But when we renew ourselves in the spirit of our mind, in order to renew ourselves, we got to put on God's laws. We got to put on the whole armor. We got to put on thou shalt not commit adultery. We got to put on 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. We got to put on Matthew chapter 5, verse 27. I take not my sister to lust. Right. We got to put on all these laws and renew the spirit of our mind. Go on.
And that ye be put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
And when you put on the new man, you have something called community cleanup, because it's almost in vain. I'll be honest. Out of every state in the United States for the IOIC community cleanups, I might as well say, Philly, you guys just take a break for that, because it doesn't matter. Because I remember years ago, Officer Haim in Jezreel, we was at Laquat, we was at camp, and I seen a Negro. Let me tell you something. I seen the Negro, right next to a garbage can. Yep. And the Negro said this, the garbage can's right here. All he had to do is not even fully extend it. He had to do this halfway, curl his hand, just like this, and throw the garbage like this. But the Negro decided to throw the garbage on the floor rather than the garbage can was right next to him.
Right next to the garbage can.
He's
and
like
the garbage
Eminem.
can was empty.
He's like Eminem, F the world and let it die. That's the mindset of a black man.
And you know what's heavy about that too, Cap? When we started harping on that thing for like months, you had one dude, he used to be the one selling the Lucy's. The word didn't reach everyone. But in the following month, he came through with a dustpan and a broom.
I remember that.
And he cleaned up.
Sweeping. Yeah.
So meaning that the people's mind are absent of this fact.
Right.
You know, of knowing how to live.
Right. If people are around to encourage that change of behavior, it can be done gradually. But if people are all around, they're all destroyed, it can't be done. Where we at?
2 Maccabees, chapter 6.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
So we dealt with the manners, how the Greeks changed our style, our dress, our behavior, our attitude, to the manners of the Gentiles, to the manners of the Greeks. Go ahead.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles shall be put to death. There might a man have seen the present misery.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children.
Right. There were 2 women that were brought who had circumcised their children. Go ahead.
Who, when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
They threw our sisters headlong from the wall, top of a wall, while they were breastfeeding. That's what they were doing, because they circumcised their sons, their baby sons. They threw them off the wall along with their sons, because it was unlawful to circumcise your child. And so over time, we were being forced to do these things. Over time, we naturally began to stop circumcising our children, because they made examples of us who did not, who chose not to, who chose to. Go ahead.
Hey, Deacon, you notice how the Greeks, the first Edomite ruling empire, was successful in the complete alteration of the Israelites into the confirmation and the conforming.
Yeah.
In America, the last assimilation. In America, the last ruler empire was also one of the biggest kingdoms to be the first in terms of completely wiping us out, in terms of our identity.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together.
That's Philip going back to Cyprian, the guy back in verse 20, back in chapter 5, verse 22. Philip, go ahead.
Were all burnt together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Right, they chose to keep the Sabbath day regardless of what the law said, and they got burned. They got killed. Go ahead. Basically, so this was called a witch hunt. They were killing us to circumcise our kids. They were killing us to keep the Sabbath day. They were killing ourselves, calling ourselves a Jew. What are you? You're a Jew? Kill them. That was the law. That was the order. Go ahead.
Now I beseech those that read this book.
It's the author writing this now. Jason, go ahead.
That they be not
the Jason I'm talking about earlier. This is Jason of Cyrene, the author, and among others. Go ahead.
That they be not discouraged for these calamities.
So the author is saying to us as we read this, don't be discouraged by what you're reading right now. Go ahead.
But that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation.
So the reason why we're reading about these things is because this is God's way of chastising us for going against him. That's what's happening. Women being killed, babies being thrown off the wall with their mothers while nursing. Being burned alive, skinned alive, tortured, mutilated, enslaved, and killed. This is a result of Israel rebelling against God as a nation.
Same thing.
That explains your ghettos and your slums. That's the result of us going against God's laws. It's the same thing, so different. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished.
14.
For not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us.
So that's how God deals with us. It's until the nations are not done yet. The nations right now are ruling because they have not completely fulfilled the sum of their evil yet. But in the meantime, he's going to put his foot in our ass until it's time to put his foot in the nation's asses, which is soon. That's why you go into your supermarkets now, you're seeing empty shelves. That's why you're going to turn the news on, you're getting more and more new injections. Oh, booster. Oh, booster 5. Booster 6. Yeah, the new variant is out. Yeah, the umbrella variant. Yeah, the banana variant. Yeah, the Skittle variant. Yeah, the M&M variant. You need a booster. That's not going to work. You need another booster. You'll be walking pincushions after a while. It's getting ridiculous. Because this place is falling apart. They're pulling out. You see in Canada, them shelves is empty.
Oh, gosh. Pray for
falling
our
apart.
sisters out there.
Yeah, we pray for our sisters out there in Canada, man. Them stores is empty. So Esau's pulling out. You know when you ever seen a movie where a person is dying and they start doing crazy stuff? They ain't got much time. They start wilding out. That's what America's doing. America's doing whatever she wants, legalizing everything. Legalized, you can shoot up legally now in Philly. Shoot up now legally in their own facilities. Shoot up.
What the hell is this?
Prostitution's legal now. What else is legal now?
They're legalizing
weed,
drugs.
Drugs, yeah.
So
this and they're lessening the punishments when you get caught with certain drugs now.
Right. Also legalizing almost legalizing theft, because it's not as much punishment, so more people are starting to steal. I think it was a Rite Aid, I believe, in New York, that was shut down because they said they can't keep up with all the people that's stealing from the store. And like I said, they put a law out there. If you cannot stop a person from stealing, or neither they're going to respond to that anymore. Mm-hmm. You heard about that?
No.
The hell is this?
That's going on right now.
Wow.
I don't know if it's here in Philly or Jersey, but because of the weed legalization, they starting to take away the actual drug tests from the jobs.
Oh, gosh, this place is gone.
Wow. There you go.
Wow. Damn.
Go ahead.
Scary.
Where we at now?
Verse 14. For not as with other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us.
Go ahead.
Lest that being come to the height of sin,
Right, when the sin's complete, go ahead, the height, the end.
afterwards he should take vengeance of us.
It says the judgment starts with us first. Judgment starts with us first. Go ahead.
And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people.
Despite what he does to us, he's never going to forsake us. Go ahead.
But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us.
Damn.
And now will we come to us.
No.
Oh, sorry. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in few words.
Verse 18, come on.
Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
So they said, listen, eat swine's flesh, because he's an older man. And he was an example to the people. Go ahead.
But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment.
Wow. Go ahead.
As it is behooved them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such things, as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted.
Wow. He said, I'd rather just die than just kill me. Just torture me.
Honorable.
They put a child forced in his mouth. He spit it out. He said, listen, just kill me. I'm not eating that. Go ahead.
But they that had the charge of that which wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, take him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh, taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
He said, okay, Eleazar, listen, man, we understand you don't eat pork. So here's what you do. Take your own meat and pretend it's the pork and eat it instead. It don't got to be pork. He'll give you some beef, and we're going to pretend it's the pork that and you eat it. Took him to the side. They knew him. Watch what he says.
Hey, Deacon, and I was talking to the congregation yesterday in Jersey, letting brothers and sisters know to take this famine seriously and start to stock up.
Right.
Make sure you have enough food stored up, like I said, in the storehouses, because what's going to happen is what could possibly happen is the same thing that happened back then. They say that, oh, there's a depletion or shortage of chicken
Yes,
or
there
meat.
is. There is definitely chicken. Definitely that.
So, you're starting to see the meat prices raise astronomically, so to the point where you don't really hear them talking about there's a shortage in pig.
Nope.
Or hammer. You don't hear about that.
No, you don't.
So it might come to the point that they say, you know what, there's a shortage on all these food. The only meats that we have available to you is pork. So if you want to eat, you want to sustain yourself, feed your family, here's the pork. It's the only way you can survive. So brothers and sisters, take this very seriously. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could be a possibility because I don't hear them talking about the pork.
Nope.
Or there'll be, like I said, a lack of it.
There's plenty of that.
No crab, shrimp, lobster.
Yep, catfish.
All that is good.
Oh, and also, there's another article that I read the other day that was saying that there's a turkey shortage.
Wow.
So turkeys are starting to become endangered. So you have a chicken shortage as well as turkey. So the two primary meats that black people eat, turkey and chicken.
To avoid the pork.
Yep. They said, we're going to short this. So, hey, there's enough pork for you guys. Eat.
Wow.
Be filled. I'm telling you what's
Be
going to happen.
merry. Go ahead.
Be merry.
Hey, real quick, D. Verse 21, when they try to convince him to pretend.
Yeah,
just pretend.
To pretend, right.
When you look at the movie industry, the music industry,
Right.
a lot of these entertainers are pretending. The
Right.
life that they portray to our people, they don't really live.
Yes, that's very
And
true.
this is exactly what Esau tells them
To do.
Just portray that. Just
Yep.
portray the gangster life.
Right. Or pretend you got a bunch of hoes. Meanwhile, they married.
Right.
They married the same chick for like 10, 15 years.
Yep.
Like T.I., for instance.
Yeah, one guy said, listen, man, we would
Right.
rap about having our wives, but they told us not to. They said, we can't. They said, do not talk about your wives and your children. Rap about the hoes you have or you should had or have. They don't have. Just pretend you do. Don't talk about these guys like Ja Rule, for example. That dude, it got a picture of him and his son. His son looks just like him.
Yeah, right.
With a freaking college degree, graduation gown on.
Right.
He graduated from college.
Something with Master P and his Romeo, right?
Yeah, Master P too. Their families, their kids is in schools, prestigious schools. Not them schools, not them zone digger ghetto schools. You got a picture of it with Ja Rule and his son. His son looks just like him. Let's change his like splitting image of his father.
And even Cardi B, her daughter was listening to her music and she turned it off. She said, I don't want you to listen to that type of music.
Yeah. Blow it up, son.
Damn. What the hell?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Crazy, right?
That man jeans is strong as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Daddy.
He's just taller than him. That's it.
Yeah, he's just taller, but that's his pops.
I mean,
Yeah.
like he got a perm for some reason.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's from the mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jess,
Dick,
that's what happened to your hair?
and
It definitely don't look like Negro features over there.
and
Look like
and
Gadite.
the
Come on.
the worst effect of that, right, Dick? You do have some young, ignorant Jakes that actually are going and killing people and rapping about it.
Yeah.
But the people you idolize, listen to, they don't kill nobody.
No.
You know?
No.
But so this is exactly what Esau wants us to do.
Right. But you
Wants
got-
us to pretend a false life so that way your people can follow
Right.
you with the garbage.
Because Cardi B even said, she said, I don't let my kid listen to my music.
Nope.
I'm like, well, why you do it then? Because she got me I make my money.
Damn, that's selfish.
The money. Then you got what's the name? Megan Thee Stallion, her recently. This is not really this is a history class, but Megan Thee Stallion, her man broke up with her because she's a drunk. Broke up with her because she's all I'm the hot girl summer. I'm the this. I'm that. I'm this, and niggas want me. And she getting dumped by regular dudes. He's not a celebrity.
Damn.
But I'm just showing you that act go but so far. So Eleazar understood that these people they tried to take them to the side. Listen, man, you're gonna pretend you're doing this, pretend that, pretend this.
And by him doing so, everybody else was
We're
following.
gonna fall behind it because Eleazar had influence.
Yeah,
What?
influence,
You gonna say it? Read on.
Just like the celebrities.
Right. What's gonna say? Verse 22.
Verse 22. That in so doing, he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
See, that's what he's saying. Listen, if you do this, if you pretend you ate it, you get to live, and you'll find favor with us who are your friends. We're your friends. We know you. Go ahead.
But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years,
He's an old man. Go ahead.
and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child,
His honest education from a child. Go ahead.
or rather the holy law made and given by God. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
He said, yo, listen, man. Yo, kill me.
Damn.
I'm not doing it. You understand? Kill me. That's what Eleazar said. Go ahead.
For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being fourscore years old and 10,
90 years old.
were now going to a strange
He
religion.
said, it would not be wise of me as an old man, 90 years old, that I just decided to just go against my God. I'm not doing it. Because the young men are watching me. They know me. I'm not doing this to make an bad example for them to do that. I will not do it. Kill me now. This man's 90 years old.
Honor.
Go ahead.
And he says, go to a strange religion.
Right, to go to a strange religion.
Eating pork.
That'd
is
be
a
your
religion.
damn Christianity.
That's a part of your religion.
That's a part of your religion, right?
That's your dietary laws.
Yeah. Your dietary laws, pray over it. It's good.
And look at the young men in the church, Deke. They following them old, ignorant pastors.
Yeah.
That's telling you God laws are done away with. You
Hey,
can
and
eat
just-
pork.
And then further that, you got the old men these days that act like they're young men, and the young men are leaving the church altogether.
Right.
They're not even going to church no more, the young men. They think it's stupid. It's a fairy tale. What the hell am I doing in here? Damn old-ass organ playing. It's these church pews. This is corny. It's hot in here. Ain't no damn AC. It's BS. I ain't sitting up here for 4 hours listening to this BS, this nonsense.
And throughout all the years, they never upgraded them big old Easter hats.
Yeah,
They stayed the same.
nothing changed.
You ain't had one designer that upgraded them big old stupid Easter hats.
Nope, still going on. Read on.
Verse 25. And so they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me. And I get a stain to my old age and make it
He
abominable.
said, why should I pretend to eat this pork, to leave behind a bad example for these young men that look up to me, to live what, 10 more years? He's nearly 90. He said, just kill me. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend and lie to the people just to live a little longer. For what? And stain my reputation? Nah, just kill me, man. I'm good. Go ahead.
For though for the present time I shall be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor
I
dead.
can say a pen, I can eat the pork and escape your hands, but if it comes to God, I can't escape him alive or dead. So just kill me. Because his punishment will be worse than yours. Go ahead.
Wherefore now, and that goes to the scripture, Deacon, when it says, "Don't fear the man that could kill body and soul, but kill the
body.
man."
Don't fear the man that can kill
the body,
but fear the man, but fear the one who can kill the body and soul in hell. He said in the grave, heavy.
So verse 25 is a perfect example of death before dishonor.
Yes, it is. Unlike the artists that were involved in that song.
Right.
They dishonor before death for them.
That's right.
Dishonor brothers' wives.
Yeah. Where we at?
Coach D.
Where we at?
25.
You're D, all right. Where we at?
Dang, 25.
25.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Thank you for leading me into that. 25, go ahead.
I was kind of really in.
Oh, God. Go ahead, man.
Hey, do we have music for the deacon yet? You know what music I'm talking about? Okay.
Let's not go to that place.
Speak your truth.
Oh my gosh. Let's not go to my angry place music. Y'all are terrible people, man.
You didn't see me say drop. You didn't see me give the cue? Out the spirit. Next time.
Damn.
So that's the cue?
That's the cue.
When I go to my angry place, they gonna play that song to encourage me
Even when
more.
you're not here, that's the cue.
Y'all are the worst influences ever.
That, right?
I like that song though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I know. You're in the spirit.
It did piss me off.
So anytime Deacon goes into that place, and then
Go ahead,
you
D.
gotta add an olive. Speak your truth. The speak your truth segment. You gotta have the speak your truth segment.
Oh my gosh. Where we at?
Verse 25. We're gonna upgrade this, man. We're gonna listen, Deacon. Verse 25. And so they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time in a moment longer, should be deceived by me. And I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable.
26.
For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such an one as my age requires.
I'm gonna show myself a true man. I'm 90 years old. I'm an old man. I'm a still man. Yes. Go ahead.
And leave a notable example to such as be young to die, willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws.
Wow.
And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
Wow. Go ahead.
They that led him, changing the good will, they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded, as they thought, for a desperate mind.
They figured he had a desperate mind. Go ahead.
But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, It is manifest unto the Lord, that hath the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten. But in soul am I well content to suffer these things, because I fear him.
Damn, go ahead.
And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage, and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation.
So Eleazar died an honorable man in all his nation. 90-year-old man got beat. He got beat to death at 90 years old because he refused to eat pork. And you Negroes eat it willingly for free. You can't make this up. You can't make it up.
Man, they'll kill you.
Right.
Just to eat it.
Right. So we're going to take a quick break on that note until 2:35. Lord's will. We'll see you. We'll see you. We'll be back. See you then. Stay tuned.
Time for y'all to pull your head down and wake up.
We are gods, we are kings, we march in faith, cause we believe we can. Change the world to what it needs. Stand against our enemies, 'cause we can. We've been choked and we've been straight. They keep killing, but we remain, 'cause we are. We're God's children, we're God's chosen. No more sleeping, we've awoken. We are. Yeah. Can't nothing ever stop us. Take one and another will rise up. We'll endure until we reach the end. We are gods, we are kings, demanding change, 'cause we believe we can. We marching in the streets, in our communities. Yeah, trying to find who's gonna wake up, trying to find who's gonna raise up. We stand and face the east, we pray and march for peace. Yeah, we finally had enough. We are special, we are better. Let's unite and come together. We are, yeah, we are. No more killing one another. You're my sister, you're my brother. We are, yeah. Ain't nothing ever stop us. Take one and another will rise up. We'll endure until we reach the end. Ain't nothing ever stop us. Take one and another will rise up. We'll endure until we reach the end. We are gods, we are kings, demanding change, 'cause we believe we can.
That was for free. For free.
Hey, if it would not have been for the Lord, then we would not.
Hey, we gonna use the real. It's not real.
There would have not had a donut happening.
Now another donut.
See no
So true. Every time I come around, dawg, got the whole hood checking for me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. 'Cause I got my bros next to me. 'Cause I got my bros next to me. 'Cause I got my bros next to me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. 'Cause I got my bros next to me. Israel, we take the high road, waiting patiently for Shiloh. When the prophets on the mic, though, stomping out your doctrine like a car at a sideshow. Say the word, angels activated. You say you got the truth, but it's saturated. We here hunting for imagination. Step into the prophets, come correct and get decapitated. I ain't saying that's a literal. You wanna be a king, keep your sentence to a minimal. Flow straight jacking, you can see I'm going clinical. Carry out the sentence in these bars like a criminal. Every time I come around, dawg, got the whole hood checking for me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me.
We can get the fleeing and shaking like a maraca. Right before they leave, I finish him like Baraka. Bible wide open and shooting just like a shot. I got my mask on, cutting and slicing like I'm a doctor. This for you, and all your partners. Come at me with a doctrine, but I'ma stop it. God call you rubies and gold, you act like copper. Edomites run around in life like y'all can stop us. They call themselves the Jews and say it's not us. You trying to be equal, they looking at you like product. You say you a gangster, but snipping up all your product while your brother getting shot in the streets. Say that's the problem. Hey,
every time I come around, dawg, got the whole hood checking for me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me.
No fear in my heart, cause I got my bros next to me. Steady every night in case the heathen wanna question me. Got oil in my lamp like what Mary had in Bethany, and poured it on his head when he died for us readily. Read it as it's written, let the red letters credit me. Us against the world, got my own nation vexing me. Come on, remind me of the chief priests, the scribes, and the Pharisees that persecuted Paul and the Savior with their heresies. Lies and false witnesses, they gathered just to bury me. Got a couple threats, but ain't now one of them scare me. A script for understanding and a precept for clarity. Straining at a gnat, but you lacking in your charity.
Every time I come around, dawg, got the whole hood checking for me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. Cause I got my bros next to me. With no fear, I bring it out, dawg. Cause I got my bros next to me.
Sabbath morning, rise and shine, hit the block, make it hot, shake 'em down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the op. And we talking how we walk it, yeah.
All right, we're back from the break. I was reading y'all comments on the comment board. Some of y'all are offended by Captain Jarrell's remarks regarding Haiti.
Oh my God! Cap, we didn't put them up to it, Cap.
So, Captain Jarrell, you care to respond to these statements about you and your testing for Haiti, sir?
Why didn't you say anything when I spoke about Philly? How dirty Philly was.
Yeah.
That shows you our brothers and sisters still have an attachment to the land.
Right.
And anytime, and that's why, you know what? You wonder why I do it? Because I know it offends you. And you guys, brothers and sisters, got to get out of that spirit because your land is not Haiti. Your land is Jerusalem.
Right.
That's your motherland.
Bring
That's
it out.
your homeland. The hell with Haiti.
Right?
The hell with Haiti.
Hey, the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. That's a shithole. I'll tell you straight up and down. That's they call it the back alley of the Bronx. The back alley of New York. The Bronx is very filthy. I don't. People talk about the Bronx. Bronx is the worst. I'm like, it is the worst. So I don't take offense to it. But I know that a lot of our people who are from the islands and so forth. It's a personal joke we have amongst ourselves. Bishop does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a personal joke we have amongst ourselves about Levi and so forth, or even about Judah.
It's
We
not
don't have no land. Judah ain't got no land at all. All the tribes have somewhere to go. We stuck here.
And
You know,
Deacon-
so that joke is common amongst us. But
And didn't you just go on a rant about Judah? How
I
they're
said
born in
they
vain?
ain't born in vain. They should stay. They should end up in hot sauce. I said all kinds of stuff about Judah.
But when it comes to Judah, speaking bad against Judah, nobody has anything to say. Oh, that's acceptable. Because that's how you portray us. That's what you think about us. But when it comes to Haiti, oh, no, that's my land. That's my home country. Don't portray us in a bad light. Listen, Haiti's going to be destroyed. Jamaica's going to be destroyed.
That's
Jamaica
right.
is filth.
That's
America's
right.
filth.
That's right.
Jerusalem is going to be the top real estate on this earth. So get over your emotions. Get over your feelings.
Hey, Cap, I went to Haiti. When I left Haiti, back then, Haiti used to call the Pearl of the Islands. That's how beautiful it was. It was a destination for vacation.
Right, it was.
For
It
Jamaica.
still is. It still is.
When I left, right, I come over here as a young man. I went back, I cried. That's how dirty the place was.
Right.
It is dirty. I'm not. It's not a
Just like
joke.
Philly. It's
I'm
we
not
just
taking
did a
it
segment
personal.
on Philly, how
Some
dirty
part
Philly
is very dirty.
But nobody
I
says,
cried, yeah.
oh, stop talking about Philly. Get out of your emotions and just stop. Let's listen and be quiet.
It's not impersonal. We don't take it. I don't take it
And
personal.
you're not Haitians. You're Levi.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
You're Levi.
It
You know
might
what I
be
mean?
Haitian.
Yeah, blessed is he that are not offended in me. I'm talking about the land. I'm not talking about the people.
Right. We love our people. We love Levi.
And this is how we joke, man. You guys got to get over it.
Right.
You couldn't be around me. I'll be honest.
Yeah. We're terrible behind the camera. We're terrible behind the camera.
Being around Cap, I think if I do an action movie, I'm gonna be Alligator Man. Had to have
That's
that
our skin.
thick
Yes.
alligator skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
The bear.
So again, just this captivity, the Greek captivity, we're reading about Maccabees is about Levi heroes, Levi warriors. So I'm repping Levi each episode in Greek captivity because y'all the main protagonists in this history, Levi. So I don't care about Haiti. I don't give a shit about Haiti. I'll tell you straight up and down. I don't.
Me too.
You know, I don't give a damn about Haiti. But the point is that the main heroes or protagonists of this class of this lesson, the Greek captivity, or fighting for our independence. And I'm not referring to the French Revolution. I'm not referring to independence of Toussaint. I'm not referring to that. Jean-Jacques Dessalines. I'm not referring to them. I'm referring to the Hasmonean family, the Mattathias family, Judas Maccabees, Eleazar, Joannan. These are your real leaders. Now Toussaint and of course and Jean-Jacques Dessalines, those guys was heroes. They kicked Napoleon's behind. I give respect and respect is due, as I do Nat Turner, as I do Gabriel Praza. But biblically speaking, the ones who we give honor to are the ones of our forefathers who are keeping the commandments of God. Understand? That's what we got to do. If Daniel prophesied these men, and that's what we're reading about. So just pride yourself more so in that. Right. It's all in jest when it comes to Haiti and so forth. We all know Haiti's messed up. Yes, it is. Earthquakes, filth and so forth.
Sorry, Deacon. So it's some part of Jamaica. I went to Jamaica. Some parts is very bad too.
Oh, filthy.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
it's all the islands.
Hey, in Africa, you got some parts where there's nothing but doodle on the water, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of.
And some of our brothers and sisters are from over there. They're from there. Now, you know,
Listen, man,
Nigeria is bad. I've been to Nigeria.
It's
curse. Bad there. Nigeria is bad. The air is bad. We coughed like 3 months when we came back from Nigeria. Our lungs is jacked up. So Haiti is an understatement compared to Nigeria's air quality. There's certain parts of Nigeria where your heathens live. They have air filters. Mm-hmm. So all the messed up air stays away from them. And Nigeria is and the sun is blocked out. The screen you can see a clear screen of pollution in the sky in Nigeria. It's not a clear blue sky over there when I was there. So don't be offended. I've seen worse, I assure you. All right, so let's just move on.
Right. I won't speak about Haiti anymore.
Oh man, so we're in 2 Maccabees 7.
Okay, we heard that before, Cap.
Yeah, Captain Joe's not gonna stop. I'm just gonna tell you straight up and down.
Right.
But y'all gotta learn to have tough skin. That's nothing.
Too? Remember, there's a curse that falls on all the 12 tribes.
Yeah.
All the 12 tribes live in filth.
Right.
Okay? All of us live in filth because our mind is filled before we came into the truth. So, you know,
Nah, I'm from the Bronx. I'm not from Coney.
I'm sorry,
I'm
Officer
not
Haim.
from Coney. It's about me.
Why are you
I'm sorry,
apologizing to
Officer
me? Why are you
I
apologizing
didn't make,
to me?
I didn't make
I'm
the
from the
comment.
Bronx.
Cuz.
From the
She's gonna
boogie
get
down,
after
boogie
the
down.
show.
You need to talk to your audience.
All my life.
man. Not
I
me.
apologize
I'm
to you
good.
guys because it's gonna get worse for you guys now.
Damn.
I'm from the world, from the South. I'm from Coney. No, I'm not from Coney Island. I'm from the Bronx, from Soundview, where
I'm
Peter,
from-
Lord Tariq and Peter Guns is from. I'm from there.
Hey, you need to go home, listen to that song. Jerusalem is where I'm from. You know that song?
You sing it, no. When you sing it, it's like it sounds
Abdul,
like
can you sing
garbage
for
in
me?
my soul.
Abdul, can you sing it for me?
It's like jazz rapping.
Oh, damn.
Damn, you didn't have to go that far, D.
I have to remind you guys it's terrible when you do it.
I might
Where
spit
you
some
at?
after the show.
Second Maccabees 7. Second Maccabees 7. You're almost done. Let me ask you if you have any questions. Oh, I gotta forget. If you have any questions or questions, you can text us at 267-702-61. What's wrong with Dawad today? What is wrong with this brother today? He's so
wow.
He had like 267-702-6121. 267-702-6121. If you have any critiques or any questions regarding today's class or Captain Jerome's insults, please call the show at 267-702-6121. Haiti, Levi, we love you. I love you. Don't take no offense. We all family.
We all
going to we all in captivity. We all getting the hell up out of here.
We're going to upload as a separate segment.
Wait, but that nuclear bomb job, Haiti gonna be it's gonna be gone. I hope you understand that.
Everybody.
It's gonna be erased.
Gone.
Like a chalkboard. It's gonna be gone.
It's going to be clean then.
It's gonna be cleaned
Don't
out
worry,
entirely.
I'm listening to you guys
Along
cry.
with the rebellious niggas that's still on the island.
I won't
All
talk
right.
about Haiti anymore or Levi.
It's not gonna stop.
I love you, Levi. Come here, give me a hug.
We don't do that. I'll take your apology, but we ain't doing
I
that.
love you. You love me.
Damn.
Let's get together and hug Haiti.
Second Maccabees 7. We're gonna start from verse 1.
Yo, that's great.
Yo, y'all are terrible, man.
I'm sorry. Somebody might really get offended from me, man.
Cap, stop saying you're sorry, man. You know you don't, man.
I can't
stop
help
saying it.
You take the mic away from me. That's the only way to stop me.
Come on, man. Yeah, there you go.
You know, you gotta understand my upbringing.
And
is
Jesus
true.
said, remember, if they hate you, they hated me first. So, to Armando, that's his name?
Armando, yeah.
Armando, don't worry, brother. They hated us first.
Before you.
Be all right.
Armando.
You'll be all right, man.
I'm
be
sorry,
all right,
brother.
brother.
You're gonna be all right, man.
Love
Hey, Armando, man, listen, man. Listen to the message.
And chicken nuggies too, man.
Forget
Chicken
about the
nuggies.
insult.
Your
Pay,
chicken
pay
nuggets.
attention to the message coming out of the Bible.
Yeah, man.
We're trying to maintain cooperation with the comments. I'm trying to. It's a lot.
Listen,
When
I had a rough-
when I'm in my flow, man, I don't listen to y'all comments. I just keep going.
I had a rough upbringing and coming to the
you
truth.
did, you
So
And also, there's a sister that asks about. She says she's new, and she wants to know classes about dietary law. Just go to IOIC. Just put IOIC dietary law. There should be a lot of classes that's pop up.
You just make that up. Look what? Huh? I know damn IUIC dietary law class is gonna pop up a little there.
I did.
you see, I try to
That
stop.
can't-
Help me.
Wait.
Help
No,
you.
no, Cap, no.
Cap,
I go
help
on,
me.
wait, Cap. I went on YouTube, right?
Cap, they say whoever
Right?
you say
Wait.
I am.
I went on YouTube. I put IUIC dietary law.
I'm gonna type that in
it
right
popped
now.
Go ahead,
And it
tap
popped
it in.
up? I
You'll
hope
see
so.
50 minutes with the captain. You'll see a lot of dietary law
They
classes
say he made it up.
on YouTube. Go on
No,
YouTube.
I asked them. I was gonna see if he made that up.
Go on YouTube. Remember I was asking you earlier?
Oh, he's right. He's right. All
Thank you
praise.
very
He's
much.
right.
Thank you.
He's
now
right.
you can apologize.
Wait, what?
Now
I
I
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Now I need my apology.
No, I asked him.
I
I asked him. He made it up.
That wasn't
Did he make
me.
that up?
I didn't say that you
I
make it
asked
up.
you that. I thought you made it
see,
up.
I know, but you jump on it
You
too.
got hatred
I
for me. Why you looking at
apologize.
me?
I'm sorry.
Why you
I'm
see?
sorry.
Why you looking at me though?
But listen, man, I can lie to you, man.
I know what's his stutter.
When you said that dumb darts thing, man, I lost
Hey,
faith
the
in you,
darts,
man.
Cap.
Darts and ninja stars, knives.
Darts, deep darts.
The darts, man.
It's a personal joke of mine. Anyway, yeah, you go to IUIC dietary law on YouTube. You'll get 50 minutes with the captains, Captain Zakai, Bishop Yawasop. Understanding dietary law from Detroit. You got dietary law from Houston. Okay, that's hair dye. The dietary law, IUIC DMV, Daily Bread. Got dietary law. You got dietary law from IRC Chicago. Damn. Captain Shem has health and diet. You got foods from IRC Tallahassee, eating defiled foods, quick Q&A. Just type in IURC dietary law. It's excellent. All praises. It's excellent.
Yeah, man. I said one.
You got a whole variety of classes.
They hung me for one thing. Darts. OMG.
You got a lot. You got a whole lot of IURC classes to choose from, to watch on, what not to eat. All
You
right.
still holding on to that, man?
You sound
No,
offended.
because they can bring it back. They can bring it back.
Adam and the Batman, the darts,
Yeah.
man.
We read it earlier, too.
That's what brought to my memory.
Second
You read it
Maccabees.
earlier. Second Maccabees 7-1.
Second Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken, and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Here you go again, like the Eleazar was forced to do. Go ahead. He turned it down. Go ahead.
And were tormented with scourges and whips.
Remember, they beat Eleazar the same way, so that was the common punishment, to beat him damn near to death. They got beat with scourges and whips. Just as Christ got beat with scourges and whips. Same thing. The same people do the same exact thing. Go ahead. And in slavery. You watch the movie 12 Years a Slave. Patsy got beat with scourges and whips. Toby got beat. Kunta Kinte got beat with scourges and whips. This is a common European thing, man. Now, other nations did it to us too, but we're reading about Europeans doing the same thing they did to us over here during this time. Go ahead.
But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
So this woman here had 7 sons, and they were all being killed and tortured one by one in front of her very eyes. So this chapter right here is for you sisters who are watching, who are raising children on your own. There are small instances, this is one of them, where a sister, there are very few instances where a sister is forced to raise a child or children on her own. So the most inspiring, most motivational person you should read in the Bible regarding a single mother is right here, 2 Maccabees 7. Because she raised these 7 boys to be brave. You're gonna read about the bravery of this woman and how she raised these strong, mighty boys, 7 sons on her own. Okay? And they're being killed in front of her one by one, tortured and killed and mutilated by the white man in front of her one by one. All 7 of her sons before they get to her. Read on.
But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
What you asking us all these questions for? Just tell us already. Go ahead.
Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot.
Then the king commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, mean boil the water in them. Go ahead.
Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first.
Damn, they cut his tongue out. Go ahead.
And to cut off the utmost parts of his body.
Cut his arms off. Cut his fingers off. His utmost. What part of his body?
The utmost parts of his body.
Utmost parts. Look up utmost. Utmost parts. Jeez.
Fingers, toes, ears.
Yeah,
nose.
utmost part. What's utmost mean? Genitals.
Yeah.
Utmost means what?
Utmost. Most extreme. The greatest. Blow it up
some more. Brothers.
Greatest. A matter of the utmost importance.
Jeez.
So greatest, maximum.
That'd be the arms, the legs, the ears. They cut his limbs off.
The extremities.
The extremities. Mm-hmm. Genitals, all that. They cut them piece by piece. Go ahead. Jeez, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 3.
No, you're not in 3. You're in verse 4.
Sorry. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body. The rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
See that? So his 6 brothers are watching while his mom is watching this happen. Go ahead.
Now when he was thus maimed in all his members.
There you go. He's maimed in all his members. They cut all his members off. Go ahead.
He commanded him, being yet alive.
Still alive. Go ahead.
To be brought to the fire, and to be fried in the pan.
Then they'll start cooking him now. Okay. They start cooking him now. Go ahead.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus.
So why this dude lost his limbs, his tongue, his legs, all that, genitals, all that is being cut off, and they're cooking him inside the pot. His mother and brothers encouraged him to die manfully. Not give up, give in. They said, listen, just die. You're going to be all right. We're going to see each other again. This is the mother now, watching her son being killed slowly. Go ahead.
Saying thus, the Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comforted us. As Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants. So when the first was dead,
he finally died. Go ahead.
They brought the second to make him a mocking stock. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair,
they scalped him. They scalped. Y'all think the Native Americans started that? No, the white men started, and we reciprocated it with us by scalping him. They were doing that to us first. So we said, okay, we're gonna do the same thing to you. Because back then, when you watch a movie called it's called Cowboys and Aliens. The movie was corny as hell. Cowboys and Aliens. They used Indian scalps as money. He had like a bunch of Native American scalps with the hair hanging from it. That was their currency.
And there's an old movie I was watching, called The Scalp Hunters. Scalp hunters. They was hunting the natives just to cut the scalp, and then they go trade it for fur.
Right, and keep the hair.
What the hell is this?
So they were scalped. So the Greeks were scalping us. That's where it came from. It's a European practice, scalping. Go ahead.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of the body?
Will that body? Will you eat now? You eat the pork now? Before we do some more to you? Go ahead.
But he answered in his own language and said, no.
No. Go ahead.
Wherefore he also received the next torment in order, as the former did.
They cut his tongue out and cut all his members off next. Go ahead.
And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fairy takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
Yeah, we're sealed. They're about 144,000. These guys made it already. They good. Go ahead.
After him was a third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue.
Damn. So he said, I got it. Go ahead. Hurry up. Cut it out. I know what you guys are going to do. I watched you do it twice already. Cut my tongue out next. Go ahead. Just get it over with. Let's go. Go ahead.
And that right soon, holding forth his hand manfully.
Then he said, all right. Tongue's gone. All right. Hands next, right? He's mocking them. Go ahead.
And said courageously, damn, these I had from heaven.
The God gave me these anyway. Go ahead.
And for his laws I despise them.
And for God's laws, I don't mind losing them. Go ahead.
And from him I hope to receive them again.
See that? Because they'll come back. They'll be back. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
And so much that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for that he nothing regarded the pain.
When they were cutting his limbs off, he didn't make any noise. Cutting his arms off, his legs off, his fingers off. He's like, that's it.
That's different.
They like, this guy, what is this guy made of? Cut his tongue out, took his scalp off, fingers, arms, legs, toes. He's like, and he's dying, of course, but he's just like, I don't care. Go ahead.
Now when this man was dead also, they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner.
So now she's down to 3 sons. The fourth, go ahead.
So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good, being put to death by men, to look for a hope from God to be raised up again by him.
Damn.
As for thee,
as for you Edomites, go ahead.
Thou shalt have no resurrection.
You guys are going to die and you're going to stay dead. I'll be back. You're not coming back. You guys ain't Chucky. He ain't coming back. You're going to stay dead and be dead. Ain't no voodoo dolls for you. Verse 15. 15.
Afterward, they brought the fifth also and mangled him.
Yes, 2. Now she's down to 2. Go ahead.
Then looked he unto the king and said, thou hast power over men. Thou art corruptible. Thou dost what thou wilt. Yet think not that our nation is forsaken of God, But abide a while, and behold his great power, how he will torment thee and thy seed.
Woo! You know what he said? He said, God's going to torment you and your people. Like you're tormenting us. We're going to do the same thing to y'all. That's what he's saying. Yeah, that's why they're trying to leave the earth. They're not going to Mars for no reason. Right. They know what this says. They read this. I showed you that last week, the video. The guy, they went into the vault and pulled these books out. It said, this is going to happen. This is going to happen to us. We're going to do it to them. They're going to lose limbs. You're going to heat some cauldrons up too.
That's right.
We're going to do some scalping too. We're going to have fun with you nations. We're going to have some fun with y'all. Give you some plastic rice that you've been giving us. We're going to have some fun with y'all.
Cut the eyelids. And
cut them eyelids out so you can stare at the sun. We're going to have fun with you.
Meditate on terror.
Assuming you have fun with us, we're going to have fun with you. Verse 18.
You're going to get double.
Yeah.
After him also they brought the 6, who being ready to die said,
now she's down to 1.
Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves.
Damn.
Having sinned against our God. Therefore marvelous things are done unto us.
Yeah, you understand what he just said. This is heavy verse. Read it one more time.
Whew. For we
there's something there, yep.
For we suffer these things for ourselves. Having sinned against God.
Stop. Why is that part important heavy? These guys weren't sinners. They were righteous. They were raised the right way. But for the sake of their people, they're dying. It said, we sinned too then. They weren't individuals. They said, listen, we're dying because of our brothers sinned.
As a nation.
It is as a nation. We get punished as a nation, not as individuals. When one messes up, the Most High going to punish all y'all at one time. These guys are not selfish saying, why am I dying for? I didn't do this. Why am I dying for? He said, now we all sinned. Read again.
Be not deceived without cause, for we suffer these things for ourselves, having sinned against our God. Therefore, marvelous things are done unto us.
That's happened to us in slavery. Then you watch the movie Mandingo, he pushed him into a hot pot too full of water. Same thing, doing the same exact thing to us. Go ahead.
But think not thou that takest in hand to strive against God, that thou shalt escape unpunished.
You're doing this to us right now, but don't think for 1 second you're going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with this stuff. You or your seed. Go ahead.
But the mother was marvelous above all.
But the mother was marvelous above all the sons that she raised on her own. Go ahead.
And worthy of honorable memory.
And she is worthy of honorable memory. See, sisters, you get credit too. You're not forgotten. You're not unimportant. Go ahead.
For when she saw her 7 sons slain within the space of 1 day.
She watched all her 7 sons killed in front of her, tortured, mutilated in front of her within 1 day. Lord, she brought them into the world, watched their eyes open, and she watched them leave the world, their eyes being closed. No husband present, no man there, all by herself. Watch this.
She bare it with a good courage, because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Yeah, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with a courageous spirit.
She was filled with courageous spirits. Watch this.
And stirred up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach.
She stirred up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach. I mean, she had bigger balls than some of you men on here online.
Damn. And Deacon, she was able to suppress her emotions.
Yeah, she was able to suppress her emotions. Exactly. That's exactly what that means.
And then what that's showing you also is when she raised her children, you see how each one of the sons, they didn't scream or cry. They say, take my hands. It's like they're already prepped from youth to die. So that's almost the same sense. When we grow, like I said, we kind of feed our children with a fairy tale life. Oh, everything's going to be all right. No, you got to speak the truth to your kids. You got to prepare them just like we tell our kids, oh, Santa Claus is real. Right. You destroy them when they get older.
Yep.
So when they find out the truth, it destroys them, the reality. So our kids, we got to prepare everybody. Everybody mentally, psychologically got to prepare themselves to what's to come. So when it does come, you take it manfully and courageously. Oh, you want that too? You want to kill me? Just like Paul. I'm willing to die for Christ and the laws of God. So we got to have the same mindset. We got to start preparing now and preparing our family. This is what's going to happen to us in the future. This is the gospel of Christ.
You have it on?
Verse, where am I?
22.
Verse 22. I cannot tell how you came into my womb.
Right? No one can tell. It's called the miracle of childbirth. She said, I do not know how you entered into my womb. Well, she knows, but she doesn't understand how it works, she's saying. Go ahead.
For I neither gave you breath nor life.
Right.
Neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you.
Right, go ahead.
But doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man, and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again.
We'll be back again. Go ahead.
As ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
Because they're sealed now. Go ahead.
Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised, and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech.
So she's speaking these words to him in Hebrew. So he doesn't understand Hebrew. So he's thinking she's speaking disrespectfully towards him in her language. Go ahead.
Sorry. Verse 23. Verse 24. Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive.
The last one, go ahead.
Did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man, if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with his affairs.
So he tried to give the youngest son her job. Go ahead. Before he went to the torments. Go ahead.
But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life.
So the young man, her last son's left alive, the youngest one. So obviously he killed him in age order. Terrible. He said, "Listen, that's your last son right here alive. Convince your son to go against his laws, and he can live. Y'all can live. Go ahead."
And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son.
She said, "Okay, I'll counsel him." So obviously she could speak to him in his language too. She said, "I'll counsel him. I'll talk to him." Go ahead.
But she bound herself toward him, laughing a cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner: "O my son, have pity upon me that spared thee 9 months in my womb."
That bear thee 9 months in my womb.
That bear me 9 months in my womb.
Bear thee 9 months in my womb.
Sorry.
In my womb.
O my son, have pity upon me that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years,
right,
and nourished thee, and brought thee up unto this age, and endured the troubles of education.
She endured the troubles of educating her 7 sons on her own.
In the
7
law.
sons.
In the law.
In the laws of God, right. Education, the troubles of education. Go ahead.
I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth, and all that is therein, and consider that God made them of things that were not, and so was mankind made likewise. Fear not this tormentor, but, being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren.
What she say? That I may what?
That I may see thee again.
That I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. Meaning what? She understood, the Lord had revealed to her that she was going to get, not only would she come back, but she'd get all them 7 sons back too. They're all going to be reunited again in another life. That's what she's saying. I'm going to get you guys back again. That's what she's saying to them.
It's like the movie Infinite. Remember, it shall see you again?
Infinite, right. Infinite, yes. The movie Infinite, it said, I shall see you again. Yep. Go ahead.
Look quiet, Yoda.
No.
Okay. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren.
Go ahead.
While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for?
What you waiting for? Go ahead.
I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses.
Go ahead.
And thou, that has been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews, shall not escape the hands of God.
Come on.
For we suffer because of our sins.
We suffer because of our sins. We suffer because of our sins. Go ahead.
And though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. But thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked.
Thou, O godless man. Thou, O godless man.
Bastard.
You ain't got no God. Go ahead.
And of all other most wicked.
All other most wicked. Go ahead.
Be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes. Lift up thy hand against the servants of God, for thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of Almighty God, who seeth all things.
Come on.
For our brethren, who now have suffered a short pain, are dead under God's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of God, shalt receive thy punishment for thy pride. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our fathers, beseeching God that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou be by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is God. And that in me and in my brethren the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon all our nation, may cease.
Wow, which is justly brought upon all our nation may cease. Go ahead.
Then the king, being in a rage, handled him worse than all the rest.
Wow.
And took it grievously that he was mocked. So this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feast and extreme tortures.
These things took place during feast days, the torturing, the punishment of criminals, or I guess those who went against Greek law. They tortured us during their festivals. All right?
We said extreme tortures.
Extreme tortures during festivals. I read earlier, I think Eleazar said wicked feast.
But to look at it though, that, you're cutting somebody's limbs, man, limbs by limbs, then fry them on the, and it took the whole day. You just stood there and watched that. That's, man.
D, can I pull one scripture real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to find wicked feast.
You could read 1 Maccabee. That's chapter 2. 19 to 22. So the scripture says what was written aforetime was written for our learning. And what the mother was teaching these kids was written before that incident. 1 Maccabees chapter 2 gets straight to the point. Yeah, we could read 19 to 22.
1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 19. Bring it out! Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him, and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers, and give consent to his commandments. Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances.
And that's what the mother taught the 7 sons. They forbid that thing. Go ahead.
We will not hearken to the king's words, to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment.
Right. So that 19 to 22 shows you that that was the thing that mother learned and taught her kids, and they died honorably. But you always have Jake that hear these words and still, sell their souls.
Right.
They still sell their souls.
Right. The wicked feast is in 2 Maccabees 6:21. When they killed Eleazar, was during a wicked feast. In 6:21 it says, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast. So the tortures took place on that wicked feast. I'm reading the comments that some of y'all trying to be deep, man. Don't be that deep during the class.
So that was
Spirit upon the waters. Is Eleazar Moses' son? Yes. Eleazar was Moses' son. Not the Eleazar that got killed here. This is hundreds of years later.
So that was a feast for them, just like when they used to lynch us. Used to
Right, there was a feast day, a picnic. Right, pick as in pick a nigga.
Hey, it shows you the same spirit that was in Haiti. You see? Wasn't it the Levites, the ones that revolted first on the island of Haiti? Out of all the tribes. It's the same thing that happened back there and then.
Yeah.
It was the Levites that revolted back then. It's the same thing on the islands of Haiti.
I see where you're going, Cap.
You see where I'm going? It's the same parallel.
I see it, Cap.
It's the same thing that
Brothers
happened.
already, you know what I mean?
No,
I
we're
see where you're going.
laughing because,
What? I'm just showing the parallels between the two.
Well,
The same
I'm
thing.
shocked the hell. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was just waiting for another insult.
I thought that's what it was too.
I'll
No,
keep
but
it 100.
If you see the parallel history, the same
Speak your
people
truth,
that
Cap.
were the ones that was the first to rise up against
Yo,
the
get that music.
the
He finally said
Come on,
something.
man. Come on, man. Where you
Oh,
at, man?
Yeah, go ahead. Say that again, Kai.
No, that's Deacon.
That's Deacon's music. Never give me
okay,
Deacon.
right.
Deacon music's like on another level.
Yeah, Cap.
Oh,
there
my
you go,
God.
Cap. There you go.
All right, whatever, guys.
Moments past now.
So, oh gosh.
Turn it off. Cut it.
Yeah. So pretty much, like I was saying, you can see there's two parallels between the history. Levi, like I said, during the time of the Maccabees, was the first to rise up against the Greeks, Antiochus, Epiphanes, and like I said, the other Greek rulers. It's just like I said, during the time of Toussaint Overture.
Yep.
Wait, you could say it better than me.
Toussaint Louverture.
Yeah.
He put the spirit on those men to rise against the oppressors.
Right, the French.
Just like Mattathias did in the Maccabees.
Same thing that happened, and guess what? It influenced the other tribes to go join him and fight against the Greek along with them, just like during that time. So Levi influenced all the other surrounding islands. You have Jamaica, you have in America. They all heard all of the great exploits that Toussaint was doing in the island Haiti.
Right. Now we see why they outlawed the Apocrypha.
Get First Maccabees 1.
And
verse 16.
also, what say it real quick, D?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also what the brother was saying in there is a lot of history that you may not be exposed to when it comes to our people. Yeah, we are suffering for our sin, but you always got to know that we under a curse too. And if you don't elevate your mind to know who you are, you're going to be offended by certain things. You know what I'm saying? So knowing this history, you have a lot to be proud of. You know what I mean? You have a lot to be proud of. It's a condition. We understand it's a condition that we in, but the Bible is the real key, you know what I mean, to bring your worth out.
That's right.
All praises.
I'm going to need some music for that.
Oh, my gosh. First Maccabees 16.
I feel like this is like a Levi therapeutic corner right now.
You know,
Like
we need
touching
those. We need those here and there, Cap. You know what I mean?
I'll encourage you guys a little. I'll give you a little here and there.
Esteem one another, Cap.
Yeah, I understand. Man.
It's a whole year of abuse, so one segment.
All right.
First Maccabees 1:16. Come on.
Oh, man.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 16.
We love you, Cap.
Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of two realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him, and fled. Many were wounded to death.
Right, that Ptolemy is referring to Ptolemy the 6th Philometer. That's the one that was afraid of him. Go ahead.
Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Right.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary.
But they're earlier, that's the second Maccabees, and Menelaus was the one that welcomed them in there. And had Israel not been messing up, he would have got his behind beat like Heliodorus got beat up. Just reading the same thing here. It's the same account, just less detail. Go ahead.
And took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
Wait. What verse was that? That was
verse 21.
No, stop there. Go to that was Second Maccabees 5, verse 16 and 21. We read that earlier. That's in reference to that. Read on. We're gonna read down.
What do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and gold, and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Therefore there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were. So that the
great massacre was Second Maccabees 5, when he massacred on people. Thousands of us. That's what it's referring to. Go ahead. Back in Second Maccabees. Go ahead.
So that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in a marriage chamber was in heaviness.
Because they lost their spouse. They were killed or sold off. Go ahead.
The land also was moved for their habitats thereof, And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector a tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them.
Mm-hmm.
For all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
And that's in 2 Maccabees also 5. Go ahead, read it earlier.
And when he had
That was Menelaus. Go ahead.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
Damn, go ahead.
They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary, and defiled it.
They were killing us. Go ahead.
Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers,
Heathens.
and became strange to those that were born in her.
To us.
And her own children left her. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
All should be one people. That's Hellenizing. That's assimilation. Integration. Same thing, that all should be one people. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
To his what?
To his religion.
To his religion. Consented to his religion. Go ahead.
And sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
This goes back to 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and 6 and 1. Go ahead.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
See their children uncircumcised. That's the uncircumcision in the New Testament. Go ahead.
To the end they might forget the law, and change all the ordinances.
Come on.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Real quick, and that's why they threw that mother off the wall, because she didn't circumcise the kids.
Because she did circumcise the kids. Both of them did.
Circumcise
Two of them
the
did.
kids, right?
Both of them got thrown off the wall.
The hell is this?
And in selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanded the cities of Judah to sacrifice.
Right, the overseers would be Philip, Andronicus, Apollonius, Menelaus, Philip. We said that already. But those guys. Go ahead.
City by city. Then many other people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
For comfort. Go ahead.
Now the 15th day of the month was Caslow, in 145th year. They set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
The idols. Go ahead.
And builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
Damn, go ahead.
And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law,
They ripped the Bibles apart. Go ahead.
which they found, they burnt them with fire.
Ripped them up and burned them. Go ahead.
And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death.
Damn, go ahead.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 5th and 20th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
Damn, man.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
That's them 2 sisters we read earlier. Them 2 women that got killed. Go ahead.
Right. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses.
Rifled their homes.
And slew them that had circumcised them.
Go ahead.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore, they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel.
Right, very great wrath upon Israel until a family rises up. So I'm going to end it on that. If there's any comments regarding the class, now's the time. Is that comment right there? Yes, it's Eleazar, Moses' son. Eleazar as Moses' son, the answer to that question is yes. The Eleazar Maccabees is not Moses' son, no. But Eleazar was one of Moses' sons. No, Eleazar was, isn't it Aaron's son?
Eleazar was Aaron's son.
Eleazar was Aaron's son, yes, not Moses' son. Eleazar was Aaron's son. But the Eleazar and Maccabees is years later, like centuries later. All right? So, hope y'all enjoyed the class. On that, we're going to start again with chapter 2, leading into the family of the Maccabees. All right? Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. The lesson. Shout outs to the IT team. Shout outs to the breakfast team. Breakfast is excellent this morning. Excellent this morning. The tea is on point this morning as well. That ginger's crazy. So IT team, shout outs to IT team. And shout outs to Abaddon's okay, all right. Shout outs to Abaddon. Abaddon's back. His spirit rested on Captain Jerome's reading today. Captain Jerome was stumbling and fumbling all over the place today, but that's all right, man. I'm a patient man. It's all right.
Damn.
Had to flow through it.
Yeah, rusty, Captain.
Yeah, rusty, man. You been in a while,
you
man.
You gotta come here more often, Captain.
Yeah, and insult less.
Yep.
Damn.
God, jeez. Yeah, so any announcements y'all have?
Hey, Israel, let's give Deacon a hand for that class. Another great class. All praise to the Most High Israel. As we always say, you can always
stop being deep in the comment board, man. I ain't go over this stuff, the spirit upon the waters. What y'all talking about? I ain't go over that. Stop being black. Stop.
Yo, where did you mention? You ain't never mentioned anything like
spirit
that.
Spirit upon the waters. What the hell are you talking about? I ain't go over that.
Somebody in their own spirit.
Someone in their own spirit in the class, man.
Hey, Israel. If you missed the notes, you missed everything, you can always go back on Our Hidden History Radio. We got everything that Deacon has went over for the past year.
Book of Enoch is not biblical. There's no Book of Enoch. Bruh. Stop posting bullshit on the comment board. It's not in the Bible. There's no Book of Enoch whatsoever. It's not in the Bible. There's every single scripture that says Enoch wrote a book. It says he said something. It's not a book. Saying something and writing a book are two different things. Stop putting nonsense in the comment board. Stop. Book of Enoch is madness. It's fairy tale.
Pay attention to the class.
Brothers, keep listening. That Book of Enoch is nothing more than Marvel comics with a biblical name on the front of the cover. That's all it is. Planets, angels turn to planets. It's fairy tales. Mermaids, pirates to the Caribbean, elves, Ninja Turtles. Stop. It's not in the Bible. Stop it.
Israel, pay attention to the class. Like we said, you can always go back to Our History Radio and catch what Deacon went over, all right? Follow along. Take notes, all right? Also, don't forget the IUIC Philadelphia page as well as the In the Classroom page, where we have more camp videos from the deacon to the captain and all the officers of IUIC Philadelphia, all right? You can donate to IUIC Philadelphia for Deacon's show on PayPal to iuic.philadelphia@israelunite.org. Once again, iuic.philadelphia@israelunite.org. In the comments section, you can put OHH, all right? Also, don't forget the Booster Club. You can donate to iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. Once again, iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. And don't forget to subscribe to IUIC TV for exclusive content, all right? That's it, Deacon.
All praises, all praises. Stop being deep, man. Just focus on the class. When you do that, my thought is you're not paying attention to the class. What you guys in the focus is a class about the captivities of our nation and the heroes that rose up in the midst of them. So just focus on that. Stay on task. But that Enoch stuff annoys me. Stop. That stuff is that book. I've read across it. That book is used to bedazzle people. Ooh, I'm deep. Angels, fallen angels. Ooh, stop. Stop being deep. That book is madness. I've read it. It's madness. It's mad discrepancies in that thing. It makes no damn sense. There's no book of Enoch in the Bible. It doesn't mention Enoch writing a book at any point in time. There's spookism in these brothers sometimes. Stop. All right. So with that, Lords, we'll see y'all next week. Another episode of How About Hidden History Radio. And I hope you guys are taking notes, paying attention. We're going to continue next week. Shalom. Damn it, Ginger, man. Shalom, Most High, and Christ bless.
Shalom, Most High.
Most High and Christ bless.
See y'all next.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history.
Now we going back, Peter on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, 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 I'm searching. Yeah.
Searching for the road to the way.